Did you know that over half the world's population lives in just 10 countries? It's a staggering thought. Billions of lives, cultures, and stories concentrated in a handful of nations. We're diving deep into the top 10 most populated countries on Earth, and believe me, the numbers are mind-blowing. Get ready to have your mind blown as we explore the unique stories, cultures, and challenges these mega-nations face every single day. From the bustling streets of Beijing to the vibrant cities of India, we're about to embark on an epic journey across the globe. So buckle up, smash that like button, and get ready to explore the Earth's most crowded corners and find out which nations are leading the population boom. Let's do this. First up, we're heading to the one and only, the absolutely massive China. This place is home to a mind-boggling 1.45 billion people. That's like everyone in the US, Mexico, and Canada combined, and then some. China's population is so huge, it's actually more than the entire continent of Europe. Can you imagine that? It's like one giant city that never sleeps. It's got mega cities you've probably never even heard of, and they're bigger than most countries. And get this, over 600 cities in China have a population of over 1 million people. That's insane. Imagine trying to order food delivery in one of those cities. You'd probably get your order by next week. But here's the thing, China's got a plan. They've implemented this thing called the one-child policy to manage their population growth. It's a controversial topic, but it's definitely had a huge impact on their demographics. Now, China's not just about numbers, it's got a history that spans thousands of years. We're talking ancient dynasties, the Great Wall, and let's not forget, Kung Fu pandas. They've got it all. And the food. Don't even get me started on the food. From Peking duck to dumplings, noodles to spicy Sichuan dishes, it's a foodie's paradise. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. But here's where it gets really interesting. China's also a global superpower, leading the way in technology, manufacturing, you name it. They've got companies like Alibaba and Tencent that are changing the world as we speak. So yeah, China is a land of contrasts, from ancient traditions to cutting-edge innovation. They've got a rich culture, delicious food, and a population that's literally shaping the future of our planet. Alright guys, next up we're traveling to the incredible nation of India, a country bursting with color, culture, and a whole lot of people. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. India is projected to surpass China as the world's most populated country, like really soon. We're talking over 1.4 billion people, crammed into a country that's 1/3 the size of the United States. That's like trying to fit 100 elephants in a studio apartment. India's population is so diverse, with 22 official languages and over 1 billion people speaking Hindi alone. That's more people speaking Hindi than the entire population of the United States. And get this, India is the world's largest democracy. Can you imagine holding an election with that many people? That's some serious logistical wizardry right there. Now let's talk about what makes India truly special. First off, Bollywood. Forget Hollywood, Bollywood is where it's at. They produce more movies than any other film industry in the world, and they're full of amazing dance numbers, epic storylines, and enough drama to make your head spin. Then there's the food. Indian cuisine is legendary, from spicy curries to mouth-watering biryani, naan bread, samosas. The list goes on and on. It's like a flavor explosion in your mouth. But India is also a land of ancient traditions and spiritual wisdom. We're talking yoga, meditation, and the birthplace of religions like Hinduism and Buddhism. It's a country with a deep connection to its history and heritage. India is a country of incredible diversity, rich culture, and a population that's on track to become the largest in the world. It's a place that's sure to leave a lasting impression on anyone lucky enough to experience it. Coming in at number 3, it's the United States of America. With over 334 million people, the US is the third most populous country on Earth. Now you might be thinking, that's a lot of people, but it's not as many as India or China, and you'd be right. But here's the thing, The US population is incredibly diverse. I'm talking about a melting pot of cultures, backgrounds, and ethnicities. That's because the US has always been a nation of immigrants, with people coming from every corner of the globe to build a life here. This cultural blend is a huge part of what makes the United States so unique. From the food we eat to the music we listen to, American culture is a vibrant mix of influences from all over the world. Think about it. Pizza, tacos, sushi. You can find it all in the US. And that diversity is only growing. The US population is expected to keep growing in the coming decades, fueled in part by immigration. It's pretty wild to think about how this growth and diversity will continue to shape the country in the years to come. Okay, we've talked about the people, but let's talk about space. The United States is huge. It's the fourth largest country in the world by landmass, with a wide variety of landscapes. We're talking towering mountains, sprawling deserts, lush forests, and bustling cities. And with all that space, the population density in the US is surprisingly low compared to other countries on this list. For example, if you were to magically transport everyone in the world to the United States, each person would have about 1,200 square feet to themselves. That's like having your own little backyard. Of course, the population isn't evenly distributed. You've got massive cities like New York and Los Angeles with millions of people packed in tight. And then you've got wide open spaces in the Midwest where you can drive for hours without seeing another soul. But hey, that's part of what makes the US so interesting, right? It's a country of contrasts, from its diverse population to its varied landscapes. And with so much going on, it's no wonder the United States continues to be a major player on the world stage. Next up on our list is Indonesia, a country bursting with over 277 million people. Now, Indonesia isn't just one big chunk of land, it's an archipelago, a chain of over 17,000 islands. That's right, you heard me, 17,000 islands. Imagine trying to visit them all. It would take you forever. With so many islands, it's no surprise that Indonesia is home to a staggering amount of cultural and linguistic diversity. We're talking hundreds of distinct ethnic groups and languages spoken across the archipelago. It's like a whole bunch of different cultures all existing together. Now, managing a population spread across so many islands definitely comes with its challenges. Infrastructure, healthcare, and education can be tricky to provide to such a geographically dispersed population. It's a huge task to make sure everyone has what they need. But despite these challenges, Indonesia is a country on the rise. It has a young and growing population, and its economy is expanding rapidly. Plus, Indonesia is known for its stunning natural beauty. We're talking pristine beaches, lush rainforests, and incredible wildlife. Coming in at number 5 is Pakistan, a country with a rich history and a rapidly growing population of over 240 million people. Located in South Asia, Pakistan has a cultural heritage that stretches back thousands of years. I'm talking ancient civilizations, incredible architecture, and a vibrant artistic tradition. One of the most interesting things about Pakistan is its linguistic diversity. While Urdu is the official language, there are tons of regional languages spoken throughout the country, like Punjabi, Pashto, and Sindhi. It's like a whole tapestry of languages woven together. Now, Pakistan, like many countries on this list, faces its share of challenges. Poverty, education, and healthcare are all areas where the government is working hard to make improvements. But despite these challenges, the people of Pakistan are known for their resilience and their determination. And let's not forget about the food. Pakistani cuisine is absolutely delicious, with flavorful curries, fresh baked naan bread, and mouth-watering sweets. Trust me, you haven't lived until you've tried a samosa. All right, guys, we're heading to South America, the land of carnival, soccer, and a whole lot of people. That's right, Brazil clocks in at number 6 with over 216 million people. Can you believe that? 216 million! That's like everyone in the US and then some. Brazil is the largest country in South America, and it's got a crazy amount of diversity. We're talking rainforests, beaches, cities, you name it. And with so many different ecosystems, you know there's gotta be some pretty wild animals too. Anacondas, jaguars, monkeys, Brazil's got it all. But let's get back to the people. 216 million is a lot of mouths to feed. Luckily, Brazil is a huge producer of coffee, sugar, and soybeans, so they've got the whole breakfast thing down pat. But here's a crazy fact. Did you know that Brazil's population is actually aging really fast? They're gonna have more older people than young people soon. That's a big change, and it means Brazil's gonna have to adapt to take care of its senior citizens. Now, when you think of Brazil, you probably think of samba, right? That energetic music and dance that just makes you want to move? Well, get this. Brazil is also becoming a major player in the tech world. Yeah, you heard that right. They've got a booming startup scene, and they're even home to some pretty big tech companies. Who knows? Maybe the next big social media platform will come from Brazil. You could be scrolling through Favela Face or Rio Talk before you know it. And speaking of things you might not know about Brazil, did you know that the country is home to the largest Japanese population outside of Japan? It's true. Japanese immigrants started coming to Brazil in the early 1900s, and today there are over 2 million Brazilians of Japanese descent. So there you have it, guys. Brazil, a land of vibrant culture, incredible nature, and a whole lot of people. Let's give it up for Brazil. Next up, we're jetting over to Africa, the second most populous continent on Earth. And the most populous country in Africa? That's Nigeria, coming in at number 7 with a whopping 214 million people. That's a lot of people. Nigeria is often called the Giant of Africa, and for good reason. It's got the biggest economy in Africa, and it's a major player on the world stage. Plus, it's home to Nollywood, the second largest film industry in the world after Bollywood. That's right, more movies are made in Nigeria than in Hollywood. But Nigeria's not just about business and movies. The country is also incredibly diverse, with over 500 different ethnic groups and 500 languages spoken throughout the country. Imagine trying to learn all those languages. My brain would explode. And speaking of exploding, Nigeria's population is growing incredibly fast. It's one of the fastest growing populations in the world, and by 2100, it's projected to have over 700 million people. Now, when you think of Nigeria, you might think of oil, and you'd be right. Nigeria is one of the largest oil producers in the world, and oil makes up a huge part of their economy. But Nigeria is also trying to diversify, and they're investing in other industries like agriculture and technology. But let's be real. The real heart of Nigeria is football, or soccer as we call it here. Nigerians are crazy about football. And they've got some serious skills on the field. Nigeria has won the Africa Cup of Nations 3 times, and they've even made it to the knockout stages of the FIFA World Cup. And here's a fun fact. Did you know that Nigeria has the highest rate of twin births in the world? Yeah, you heard that right. In some parts of Nigeria, it's not uncommon to see twins everywhere you go. So there you have it, guys. Nigeria, a country of incredible diversity, economic power, and a whole lot of passion. All right, we're sticking around in Asia for this one, heading over to Bangladesh. This small but mighty country comes in at number 8 with a population of over 168 million people. That's more people than Russia. Can you believe that? Bangladesh is a land of rivers, with over 700 rivers flowing through the country. That's a lot of water. In fact, Bangladesh is actually one of the most vulnerable countries in the world when it comes to climate change. Rising sea levels and more frequent floods are a serious threat to the country. But despite these challenges, the people of Bangladesh are incredibly resilient. They've learned to adapt to their environment, and they've built a vibrant culture and economy. And speaking of economy, did you know that Bangladesh is actually one of the fastest growing economies in the world? Now let's talk about something everyone loves: food. Bangladeshi cuisine is known for its rich flavors and use of spices. Think curries, biryani, and of course fish. With all those rivers, it's no surprise that fish is a staple food in Bangladesh. But food isn't the only thing Bangladeshis are passionate about. They also love their cricket. Cricket is like a religion in Bangladesh, and the whole country comes to a standstill when the national team is playing. And here's a fun fact. Did you know that Bangladesh is home to the world's largest mangrove forest? It's called the Sundarbans, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's home to all sorts of amazing creatures, including Bengal tigers, crocodiles, and dolphins. So there you have it, guys. Welcome back, guys. We're at number 9 with Russia, and this one's a real head-scratcher. You'd think a country with more land than Pluto would be bursting at the seams with people, right? Well, not exactly. Russia's population sits at around 146 million, which is huge, don't get me wrong. But for a country spanning 11 time zones, that's a whole lot of empty space. Imagine driving for hours and only seeing like 3 people. That's because most of Russia is, well, Siberia. You know, freezing winters, bears chasing you to your car, the works. So most people stick to the warmer, more hospitable areas in the West. It's kind of sad though. Imagine all the epic hide-and-seek games you could have with 146 million people spread out across that much land. It would be like finding a needle in a haystack, but way more fun. Here's another mind-blowing fact. Russia's population is actually shrinking. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a combination of factors like low birth rates and, sadly, a lower life expectancy than other developed countries. But hold your horses before you write Russia off. Despite the population decline, they're still a global powerhouse. We're talking about the country with the world's largest nuclear arsenal, massive natural resources, and some seriously talented engineers and scientists. Plus, they gave us Tetris, Dostoevsky, and those awesome nesting dolls. So yeah, Russia might be facing a population challenge, but they're definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. What's up, amigos? We've arrived at number 10 on our list of the world's most populated countries, and it's none other than Mexico. Get ready for some mind-blowing numbers, because Mexico is home to a whopping 128 million people. That's like everyone in the United States and Canada combined, crammed into a country about 3 times smaller than the US. Talk about cozy. But hey, who needs personal space when you've got delicious tacos, vibrant music, and ancient pyramids right in your backyard? Mexico City, the capital, is one of the largest cities on the planet, with over 21 million people. Can you imagine the traffic jams? It's like the entire population of Australia decided to go for a drive at the same time. But hey, at least you'd have plenty of time to practice your Spanish and maybe even learn a few new dance moves while you're stuck in traffic. Here's another interesting fact about Mexico's population. It's relatively young. The median age is around 29 years old, which means there are a lot of young people shaping the future of this vibrant nation. And speaking of the future, Mexico's population is projected to keep growing for the next few decades. That means even more tacos, more music, and more incredible cultural contributions to the world. It's amazing to think about the sheer diversity of people, cultures, and traditions that exist within a single country. From the bustling streets of Mexico City to the ancient Mayan ruins, Mexico is a country that truly has something for everyone. And there you have it, folks. We've traveled the globe, from the towering skyscrapers of China to the colorful streets of Mexico, and everything in between. We've seen how population density shapes cultures, impacts economies, and presents unique challenges and opportunities for each of these incredible nations. Remember at the beginning of this video when we asked how many people share this planet with us? Well, now you know the answer. A whole lot. And that number is only going to keep growing. If you want to learn more about the world around us, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of our future adventures. Thanks for watching, and remember to be kind to one another because we're all in this together.